Silence. To open a file, of course, file, open data, and then import. Okay? Now guys, the Excel file here, ang ginagawa na guys, 2003 Excel. So if it's 2007, it won't read the 2007. Alright? So you have to save it. That XMS lang, di ba? Alright. So guys, there are data sets built in with the Gretl software. Itong mga data sets ito andito. Wait. Oh, there you go. Now we have 3 built-in data sets. Meron siyang green. Green is a textbook, Ramathan is another textbook. So let's try, wait lang, house prices and square feet. Sige. House prices and square feet. Okay, pero pang-double click yung price. Alright. Ano to? Time series or not time series?
Time series.
Let's see. Pero pang-click pang square feet. Nope. This is cross-sectional units. So how do you define a data set? So solve I think you go to data and then data set structure. Okay, now guys, the data set structure will have 3 options. Cross-sectional, time series, and panel. So we have already determined that this is across, huwag na mag-record. May voice recording na nga eh. Tsaka nire-record ko na, hindi nyo ba nakikita? Guys, no recordings please. Meron na sariling recording. Anyway, we have 3 different data set structures. Alright? Now the problem here is this. If you don't define your data set structure in the first place, well, lahat ng inferences nyo, sira. Alright? So, alam natin cross-sectional, right? Pero let's go to panel first. Okay. The panel will ask you 2 different things. Stack time series and stack cross-sectional units. This is how you arrange your data set in your Excel file, alright? Kapag stack time series, that means stack time series over cross-sectional units. That means, for example, lagay natin ng entity 1. Bigyan nyo ng entity. BPI, tapos year, 1991, 1992. Okay guys, this is a stack time series. It's time series period stacked over cross-sectional units. So makikita nyo, ano siya? BPI lang siya, di ba? And then it collects everything for 1991. Ganyan ang pag-input sa Excel ninyo. Alright? Now, look at this. Metrobank, MBT. Kaya nakuha niya how to arrange your data. Okay? So that's stack time series. Now, pag sinabi natin stack cross-sectional, ano ibig sabihin nun? Stack cross-sectional, it's gonna be cross-sectional units stacked over time. So it's gonna be 1991, 92, 93, 94, and then MBT, BPI, sorry. It's gonna be 91, 91, 91, MBT, BPI, East West Bank, tsaka ano ba? Video. Guys, that is stacked cross-sectional units. Nakuha yung difference? That's how you arrange your data in your Excel. If you're running panel data without arranging the data in Excel properly, your results will be biased and inconsistent. Understand? Gets nyo? Gets you guys? Gets? Gets? Yeah.
Pag time series, wala lang yung data arrangement.
Kapag time series wala, as long as you arrange it from pinakauna up until sa last. Alright? So these are the two important arrangements in a panel data. Stack time series and stack cross-sectional. That is how you arrange your observations. Understand? Okay. So now, cross-sectional tayo.
Can clarify sa time series, yung pinakauna, yung pinakamatagal, pupunta sa pinaka-recent.
So pinakauna, pinakamatagal up until the most recent. Alright? Okay, cross-sectional, apply. Okay. Now, to run your model, okay na to? Simply go on to model, ordinary, ay wait lang. Ordinary least squares. And then you select the price as the dependent square feet. Okay. Tira na to Oh, by the way, Sol, is it okay kapag tumuturo ako, i-circle mo na lang?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, okay, thanks, Sol. So look at this. So look at this robust standard errors. Now, robust standard errors has many options. HC1, HAC, etc., etc. Now look at this, guys. When you say robust standard errors, it already corrects for two things. Heteroscedasticity and autocorrelation. So in your software, there's no problem kapag may autocorrelation kayo tsaka heteroscedasticity. Understand? Kasi HAC errors lang yan. Or robust standard errors. So click OK. Okay. So, look at this. This is what? Model 1 OLS using observations 1 to 14. Wait this is very critical to most of you. OLS using observations 1 to 14. Diyan nyo makikita yung tama yung model ninyo. Kasi sometimes, Gretl will not use OLS. It will use the maximum likelihood estimator. MLE tsaka GMM, General Method of Moments. Doon nyo makikita yun. Guys there's a problem or there's a big difference between OLS and GMM or MLE. Okay? Alam niyo yung GARCH, di ba? Nasabi ko sa inyo naman. GARCH will use maximum likelihood estimator. So makikita nyo rito, Model 1, MLE using observations 1 to 14. Understand? Dependent variable is the price. These are all your independents. What is the coefficient? This is the alpha, this is the beta. Can you please interpret this? What is alpha? 52.35. Ano ibig sabihin yan?
If all other...
Yeah.
At zero, your value, your price will be.
Does it make sense?
Sorry.
Tama. If the square feet of the house is 0, your price will be 52. Does it make sense? Yes. It means it is the value of the lot. Lot eh. Square feet of the house to, di ba? Oh. If the square feet of the house is 0, therefore, 52.35 is the value of the lot. Ganun mag-interpret. Gets? Oh. Ito, 0.138. That's the cost of per square feet. As if square feet goes up by 1, on average, your price will go up by 0.1387 pesos or dollars. Understand? What is the standard ratio? Ay, standard error. The standard error is the square root of the variance. Right? Saan nyo nakita to? Standard error. This is where you build your confidence intervals, di ba? Remember? Plus minus the standard error. Okay. The T ratio, of course, alam nyo na yan. And this is the p-value. P-value is very important. Can you see the 3 stars? 3 stars means, it means what? Very, very significant at a 1% level. 2 stars, I think, 5% level. 1 star, 10% level. No stars, walang kwenta. Okay? So is this significant? 8.20. Is it less than 0.5? Sorry. Yes. Is 8.20 less than 0.05? Yes or no? Raised to? e raised to negative 0.6. So it's 0.0000820. Understand? Ganun ang pag-interpret. Now look at this. Sum of squared residuals. What is the sum of squared residuals? It's the RSS. Standard error of the regression. Again, it is the variance divided by the variance of the regression as a whole square root of the variance. Yeah. It's the square root of the variance of the regression as a whole. Ito, this is the square root of the variance of each individual variable, square root of the variance of the regression as a whole. Understand? Ano ba? R squared, alam niyo na yan. Adjusted R squared. When do you use adjusted R squared? In model selection, right? F, this is the F. What's the F? The joint test of significance of the variables. This is the p-value of the F. So nakikita nyo, meron na kayong T, meron na kayong F, right? Meron na kayong, well, log likelihood, hindi nyo na kailangan yan. Akaike criterion and the Schwartz criterion. Ano yan? What are these three? These are information criterion that you use to select blank. To select between which model is correct, but more appropriately, in our context, ang ginagamit yun? Selection of lags. Right? So in lags, guys, do not use adjusted R squared. That's wrong. Ha? No adjusted R squared in lags, but only use the three information criteria. This will tell you, or sometimes the information criteria will tell you three different things. Okay, text all wait up. Wait, no. Go to test. Test. And then, okay, look at this. It already has everything. Meron na siyang heteroscedasticity, White's test, and Bruch-Pagan. We have autocorrelation ito. Bakit walang autocorrelation? Kasi no. It's cross-sectional. Guys, how can you have autocorrelation if your data is cross-sectional? Duh, diba? Kaya hindi siya naka-highlight. Alright? Durbin-Watson, ano yan? Test for autocorrelation as well. COSUM, hindi nyo na kailangan yan. Nope. Okay. Look at the bottom panel. Panel diagnostics. The panel diagnostics will give you the results of the Bruch-Pagan and the, ano isa? Ha? Ano yan? Panel diagnostics. The Bruch-Pagan and the Hausmann test. So when you say panel diagnostics, automatic nang gagawin ng Gretl ang Bruch-Pagan tsaka Hausmann test. Alright? So let's go on to, Ramsey's reset test. What is the Ramsey's reset test? Na-discuss ko na yun noon, di ba? Ha? Okay. Sige, discuss ko. Point. Okay, look at this. Ramsey's reset test, squares and cubes and all variants. Tignan nyo. Why? This is the intuition of the Ramsey's reset test. Okay. Ramsey's reset test. Test for omitted variable bias. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin ng omitted variable bias? You are removing, you're removing a significant variable or not including a significant variable in your model. Right? In other words, ano kabaliktaran nun? If you don't have omitted variable bias, your model must be correctly specified. Tama? Yun yung kabaliktaran nun, di ba? Kung wala kang omitted variable bias, your model is perfect as it is. Di ba? So the intuition of reset test is this. What if I add the squares and the cubes of my independent variable? Di ba ito yung original regression ko? Sabi ni Ramsey, what if I do this? Alpha plus beta x1 squared plus beta x1 cubed plus beta x1 plus isa. What if I do this? Ano dapat ang mas tama? This or this? if your model is correctly specified, if this model is correctly specified, this must be what? No? Which is more correct? This model or this model? Yung naka-box. Get the intuition? Diba? Sabi ni Ramsey, if your model is already significant, or sorry, if your model is already perfectly, ayun, is correctly specified, therefore adding the squares and the cubes of the explanatory variables will not improve your explanatory power of the model. Understand? So sabi niya, okay. Sabi niya, adding, oh God, tapos na pala yung oras. Adding the squares and cubes will not improve the explanatory power of the model. What if, sabi ng Ramsey's reset test, it improves? Your model has omitted variable bias. Okay? But what's the problem there? The Ramsey's reset test. It tells you that you have an omitted variable bias, but it does not tell you what variables are being omitted. Okay, ah? Not tell you. Okay, thanks. Okay, okay. Yep. Guys, it's nothing more but the joint test of significance. The Ramsey's reset test is this. Ano to? What's the F test? It's the joint test of significance. So therefore, pag 0.125 ang value ng p-value mo, what's the null sa joint test? HO is that? It is 0. Tama? H1, it is not equal to 0. Therefore, they have a, ano? Huh? What's the alternative? Ano HO dito sa Ramsey's reset? HO is that F is, no joint significance. Ito, joint significance. Therefore, if your p-value is less than 0.05, ano? Tama, di ba? Paano if your p-value is less than 0.05? You have what?